Hello YouTube and welcome to a new episode of the Hypertrophy series. Despite the seemingly complicated title, we're going to talk about a topic that is actually quite simple. And that is simply going to be the application of rep ranges for control over tonnage accumulation. You will quickly understand that rep ranges by themselves can be varied and they should be varied. And I've explained why. Is because it's going to give you more intensity on certain days, on certain movements, for more progression, and also that it can help you accumulate more tonnage quickly if you go high volume. And these two values complement each other well, which is why you need both. And the beauty of it too is that there's really no such thing as an hypertrophy rep range because the two values participate in the hypertrophy because they both produce tonnage. So you don't need to get pigeonholed into one or the other. You can do what you want. And I, of course, do think that there is a certain range to be respected so that you don't go too low with one rep maxes or too high with stuff that becomes irrelevant for reasons I already explained. What I want to touch today is rather the capacity you're going to develop with those rep ranges to control muscular endurance. Because you will find that there are certain ways to approach them and to apply them in the training that are going to be much more beneficial in terms of tonnage accumulation, especially quality. For example, let's say you do a 2 rep max. That's a lot of quality tonnage for 2 reps. You could potentially be doing 4 reps with a little bit less weight, a little bit less intensity, and accumulate more tonnage. And so here you're stuck with a conundrum. Which one is better? Is it doing as much as you can and put as much weight as you can on the bar, or is it getting an extra 2 reps? If you look at it from a pure tonnage perspective, the second option is better, you got more tonnage. If you look at it from a pure intensity perspective, the first option is better because you lifted more weight, you were closer to failure. And those are the two schools of thoughts of intensity and volume. And I think that thinking of quality tonnage like this is detrimental because you're missing the bigger picture. You need to look at the specialization aspect of the two values. The number one thing that the high intensity provides is not necessarily a better quality of tonnage. Now, it does do that, but in reality, what it provides is higher progression because it's going to push you to your limit and it's going to be more beneficial in terms of strength. So it's an investment on the long term. This is also the reason why you're going to get less tonnage with the first option is because it's going to pay off in the long run. The second option, yes, does accumulate more tonnage, but in reality, that's not necessarily what it does. This is seeing the tree for the forest or the forest for the tree, whatever you want to say it. The good thing with that second option of the 4 reps rather is that you replicated muscular endurance at a higher level right now. So this is an investment for the present. You reaped the fruit of the training right now. And when you understand them in that fashion, they make a lot more sense. And you can start thinking about things in my opinion, a better angle. Because when you see it like this, you recognize that in your training sessions, are going to be investment for the future, and there are going to be certain things where you reap the benefits now. And when you combine them, you realize that they're complementary because in reality, when you do your intensity work, what is the goal? You try to develop enough strength so that in the future, when you try and test the muscular endurance with reps, with more reps, you get more and more and more. And when you reap the fruits, it's going to, for the most part, just be its own reward because this is what we want, to accumulate quality tonnage. And I say that because it's going to get to a point where that capacity to have those two things in the training program exist with one another without having to sacrifice one or the other, which would be an hypertrophy block or a strength block, is super important because since they can so easily cohabit, why wouldn't you have them cohabit? So that's the first portion of that topic of muscular endurance reproduction. And then we need to talk also about what it can mean in terms of progression. Because even though you're going to get progression from your investment, it's not necessarily going to immediately be what you want it to be. And that could also be a topic for an evolving rep range video, but you will find that the capacity to push the weight might not be directly correlated with the ability to replicate the weight. What I mean by that is, let's say you go up in weight for a lift and you used to be able to get that lift for 8 reps, okay? You put 10 pounds on the bar. And the next time you do it, you go down to 4 reps. and you get 4. So that's all good and all. But if you try to do another set with that same weight, maybe you could only get 2. Whereas with 10 pounds less, when you applied the same rep range, you could easily always get at least the same amount of reps minus 1. So what happened here? What happened is that your strength got you to that new level of muscular endurance, but the quality of endurance by itself doesn't have the ability to replicate itself within sets. And this is the reason why, to go back to what I said, you have what looks like an investment and what looks like something where you collect benefits right now. But in reality, it's not the case, because even with that practice of higher volume, in reality, you're still going to invest, but it's short term, because now that you're going to rep that weight, you're also building your ability to rep it, because of course you're getting better at it, and that participates in quality tonnage. So you see, these are the steps that you have to follow, and these are the steps really that are detailed in that title that looks completely obscure. You do your strength work to be able to push the weight. At the same time, you keep doing your volume work so that you keep accumulating tonnage. When this finally pays off and you can go up in weight here, this here is still going to produce benefits, because as its own practice, it's going to result in more tonnage. And all of these things are the steps of tonnage. Tonnage is a progression that you might see as a vertical axis, okay? The issue of that vertical axis is that if it just keeps going up, all right, like this, at some point, you're going to find that if the axis of progression is this way, you're just going to have a tonnage that is going to be not necessarily stagnating, but stagnating in terms of intensity, because the intensity progression is this way. So you're going to replicate sets, you're going to test your muscle endurance with weights that stopped being challenging. And you're at the point where your tonnage progression means nothing anymore, because your intensity is not progressing. Let's say you can do 225 on the bench, okay? And you can get it for 4 sets. If you stay with 225 and you go up and you progress to 10 sets, 15 sets, 20 sets, to a point where you can get 225 for 10 reps of 20 sets, do you think you're progressing? Technically you are. Your tonnage is immense, but is it going to result in the best gains? No. Why? You misunderstood the application of the investment I just detailed. Because this is your tonnage going up, and this is the strength work, and the strength work is going to take that tonnage and push it to its higher intensity. So instead of doing this, the tonnage does this. It curves up. And that curve is important to understand, because yes, your tonnage is going up numerically, but it's also going up in intensity. And you see that between something that does this and something who does this, some people might think, well, this is much faster. And this is the reason why some people are stuck in the mindset of saying, volume is better, volume for hypertrophy, volume for bodybuilding, volume, volume, volume. Why? Because they just replicate sets, but they fail to understand that those sets are starting to take place in irrelevant intensity windows by virtue of them being able to replicate so much of them, and they don't understand also that they are starting to let their muscular endurance get comfortable. It's not being challenged anymore. Why? Because you can't put it, you cannot push it to baseline with the weights you're using anymore. So a progression that is going to be slow, but always constant, is more beneficial for bodybuilding. And that is pretty much the summary of why you need volume and intensity, because they are both practices that are going to encourage a valuable progression and not a virtual one, like those people who just bench, squat or deadlift, or even just do isolation movements with with very, very easy weights. And that's going to be pretty much that for this video. Maybe a little bit complex, but we're going to start getting into more complex topics in this hypertrophy series, because I already covered all of the basic stuff pretty much. But I have so much more to talk to you guys about. I appreciate you for watching. If you have any questions about the concept I just explained in this video, let me know. Have a good day.